Blanton's. Wow. That's different. I really like that. Peychauds or Peychauds or Peychaud.
Yeah, now I'm gorgeous. Although probably fuzzier was better.
Okay. So this is not what I expected. Hi there. Oh man, just another one of those. Let's see. William's here, Kevin's here, Tyler's here. Just another one of those days that I'm not prepared. Just like always. It seems like I always start making dinner too late, and then I end up having to scarf it down, and then I end up getting here late. But here we are, and we're going to be doing the IW Harper. IW Harper, which is kind of a strange brand. It's just got some oddities attached to it. This is also National Cocktail Day, so we're going to be doing a couple of cocktails, one of which I'm really pumped for. Really pumped. Hey, Mark, how are you, man? Welcome to the show. Okay, I'll put that away. All right. Now, before I get started, let me talk a little bit while I get this sucker open. I did a quick Bourbcast last Saturday for National Tequila Day. And one of the things that I talked about, I just had it. Oh, right here. Duh. Is the XO Cafe, Patron XO Cafe. It's a low proof. It's more of a coffee liqueur than it is a tequila. But I was telling you on Saturday that this is one of my favorite tequilas. I love this juice. This is so tasty. Better than Kahlua, better than Sabroso, the Mexican equivalent to Kahlua. Just fantastic. And I was lamenting the fact that I hadn't been able to find it in a while. I know why now. They announced last October they were going to stop making it. So, and this is all I've got. This is the last of it. So I'm bummed. I'm really bummed about that. I think I found a place that I can get some. We'll see about that. The other update I wanted to give you, let me get this poured so we can let it breathe a little bit. The other update I had for you, a few weeks ago I did a Bourbcast live in Cleveland with my friend Denny, and we did this one, the Boone County, Kentucky Pot Still Bourbon. You can tell that this is empty. I have been working to empty this bottle ever since that Bourbcast, and I will tell you that I don't like this one. I wanted to like this one. I don't like this one. As a matter of fact, as other bourbons got better after they've been opened, this one didn't. I'm not going to tell you it got worse, because I'd have to compare it to when I first opened it. I don't like this one. I wanted to like this one. I don't. I like Boone County, but that's an MGP source. This is the first thing that came out of their actual distillery. Rumored to be pot still, but actually it does say sour mash somewhere on the bottle, so who knows? I don't know. It'll be one of those things that when I finally visit there, hopefully this summer, I can get more intel on it and find out what else is coming from these guys, because they got other things going on. But I do like Boone County. I don't care for this one. I don't know. Just didn't care for it. Just not a flavor I really enjoyed. All right, but we're here to talk about IW Harper. Of all the brands, Robert's here. Daniel's here. You're going to save the 15 year. All right, sounds good, Kevin. Kind of thought Kevin and Aaron would be joining me tonight, but we were also planning on doing it on the porch, and it's cold and nasty out and windy and just isn't very nice. So I'm glad you kind of stayed where you are. We'll save getting together for a time that we can get together on the porch and have a fire and all that good stuff. The IW Harper is probably a unique brand for me in that it's the only brand I've been able to find so far that is more optical when it comes to their politics. Now, we don't talk about politics on this show, but IW Harper has chosen to put their politics front and center. They are talking about Juneteenth. They're talking about not Black Lives Matter, but they're talking about the importance of diversity. It's the only bourbon brand I've found so far that goes so far into things that don't have so much to do about their brand. Most websites and social media and all that stuff is all about their brand. Well, I.W. Harper, I don't know if they have black ownership. They don't traditionally. Their founders were German settlers, and we'll get into that here in a minute. But the interesting thing about I.W. Harper is that all of their brand ambassadors are African American. They all have their own recipes and different things like that. I think it's fantastic. I love to see more and more people brought into the bourbon world. It doesn't have to be a bunch of cigar smoking white guys. So I like the fact that they are bridging that out. It's just interesting to me that this is one brand that has decided to become a little bit more optical when it comes to their politics. And it's not a wrong or a right thing. It's just different. And I just thought I'd point that out because if that's something that's important to you, this may be a brand that you want to support a little bit more vehemently. If it's something that isn't important to you, we're going to tell you whether or not it's a brand worth buying to begin with because we're going to taste it here in just a little bit. I.W. Harper was started a long time ago with a German immigrant by the name of Isaac Wolf I.W. Bernheim. It's rumored that he came to the U.S. with only $4 in his pocket just about the time the Civil War was ending. And interestingly, that would equate to about $69 today with inflation over all those years. So not too bad. $4, $69, not bad. Let's see. Nowhere in his family lineage or history does the name Harper show up. So it's anybody's guess where he got that. It could have been Harper's Ferry. It could have been some different places in different areas that he had visited that were called Harper. He just wanted to give it an American last name. So I.W. Harper was born despite no connection to anybody named Harper in the family or in the history. Let's see. I.W. Harper was first registered in 1879, and they won their first gold medal at the World's Industrial and Cotton Expo in New Orleans in 1885. Hey, Michael, how are you? Awesome. They had some issues. They had a fire. They had some big tax liabilities after the fire. They had like $1 million tax bill that they spent I think 18 months in litigation with the government over. They purchased distilleries, they got bought, it was partner issues, all sorts of stuff. But they thrived. And a little bit, I want to make sure I get this right. In 1909, well, let me preface that. That's nice. They were really good marketers. They marketed nationally. And they were among the first to give stuff away, like signs and shot glasses and bottles and just stuff. They were the first ones to market by giving those things away. And when they gave away like shot glasses and bottles and signs, their logo was etched into it. Their name was etched into it. And sometimes it was etched into it in gold. Kind of cute. So they have some collectibles that if you're able to find them, they're going to be very unique and probably quite worthwhile to collect. But in 1909, they had gotten very philanthropic and they wanted to get out of it. They saw Prohibition coming. It had been brewing for a while. So they sold the distillery, sold the company, sold the name, everything. At Prohibition, it was marketed as medicinal. And hi, Jeff. And hi, Daniel. And upon repeal of Prohibition, a Canadian company called Schenley purchased the brand. Schenley was acquired by an Israeli businessman in 1968, who then sold the company to Guinness in 1987. That's owned by Diageo, and that's where the Harper brand lives today. Now, interestingly, somewhere in the 1990s, I.W. Harper went off the shelves. It was disappeared from bars. It's been gone for about 20 years, primarily towards the Asian market and even more primarily in Japan. You would find I.W. Harper in Japan and really hardly anywhere else in the entire world until 2015, when the brand came back to the United States after almost 20 years. And now it's out there, and they brought in the 15-year, which Kevin is drinking tonight. And they brought in, just recently, just this year, the Cabernet Cask. And we're going to get into this one as well. So, let's see. This one is 82 proof, about 35 bucks. 15-year release is 86 proof and a $75 price tag. And interestingly, this one and the 15-year, You would think that they would have the same mash bill. Most of these companies do that. They have the exact same mash bill, but in this case, they don't. It's another rarity in bourbon. A lot of times you've got the same thing, the same recipe that is just aged longer or at a different proof or something like that. This actually has a different mash bill. The mash bill on this is 73% corn, 18% rye, and 9% malted barley, whereas the 15-year that Kevin is drinking tonight is 86% corn versus 73, 6% rye versus 18, and 8% malted barley versus 9. Completely different mash bill. Amazing. All right. Let's give this a try now. It's been sitting here long enough. You're drinking Cabernet Cask. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. Robert, hi, how are you? Welcome to the show. You're drinking this one. We're going to get to this one together here in a minute. So wait for me. All right. That's nice. I forgot to do the nose. Oops. I'm just so excited to get through this. We'll start it over. All right. I'm getting cinnamon on the nose. It's not real heavy nose. It's a little fruity. Some licorice. The fruit I'm having trouble finding. Maybe plum. The cinnamon is really jumping out at me, and there's a little bit of an oak going on. Again, it's not, you really got to go for it. You got to stick your nose in that glass to get the nose off of this. It's really kind of timid. But what I got out of it mostly was the cinnamon. Now let's go back to the palate. Very smooth drinking. I'm getting hazelnut. Kind of nutty, but in a good way. Cinnamon is there, vanilla, oak. All those notes are there, but there's no bloom. Some of these we talk about that burn that starts in the center of your tongue and moves out. I call that the bloom because it's rarely stationary and normally doesn't just sit there. I would equate this to the Irish whiskeys that we had last week for St. Patrick's Day in the fact that they don't have a lot of punch. They're not going to beat you up. What I like better about this is it's got that standard bourbon mash bill. And I prefer bourbon to Irish whiskey any day of the week. No bourbon for me tonight, sipping on some Lagavulin 16. Well, sniff, sniff. I don't even know if I said that right. I think Lagavulin is right. I think I said that right. I think I said it right. Anyway, now a lot of the reviews that I looked at were not wowed by the I.W. Harper. So many bourbon drinkers like those higher proofs. They like that burn. They like that sting. They like that presence. I'm going for flavor here. To me, it does not feel like a weak mouthfeel at all. It definitely has some body to it. It's got a nice flavor to it. There's a sweetness to it. I think it's a light caramel. It's a sweet caramel. That cinnamon is there. I got cloves. I don't get the licorice like I did on the nose. I am getting hazelnut, and maybe a little walnut. I find this to be a very tasty pour. Again, it's not going to be for the people who love those high proofs. But if you just want a nice sipping, easygoing sipping whiskey. The I.W. Harper's got some nice flavor to it. Not real expensive. But, you know, I've found myself starting to gravitate more towards those low-priced, low proofs. You know, we talked a little bit about American Tavern a couple of weeks ago. That's American Tavern? Kentucky Tavern. That's an old brand. That brand's been around forever. It's one of the cheapest bottles you can buy. It's under $10 for a 750 milliliter. If you're getting the pint, if you're getting the pint, it's only $3.50. It's low shelf. It's the cheapest buzz you can get, really. But I found it pretty tasty. The Whiskey Bible gives it a 92. And I was surprised at how much I really liked it. And there is some great value in these low-proof bourbons. If you're in it for the flavor and you don't care about... I mean, I love a high proof. I was just drinking some of that... I've just got it right down there. My brain just doesn't work sometimes. It's right here. It's right here. Oh, I moved it. It's a rye. It's a rye I've been talking about a lot. The 114 proof. Anyway, I've been buying that one because I like the higher proofs too. I do. But again, if I'm just in it for just the flavor and not the complexity of a higher proof bourbon, you know, I like these. I like that Kentucky Tavern. It's at 80 proof. I like Jim Beam. It's 80 proof. I like the Wild Turkey. That's 81. I like this. I did not bring down my... Yes, I did. My water stopper. Like I told you earlier, man, I just do not have the level of organization that I normally have when I do this. I don't expect water to help this any at all. I have a feeling that it's going to maybe improve the mouthfeel a little bit, although I don't think it needs it. But I don't think it's going to do anything as far as flavor. I'm just going to add a little bit. No, I'm not talking about the Alberta rye, Kevin. It was it was the 114 proof was the OHLQ pick. And I'd probably moved it all over there. I just had a little bit of it a couple of nights ago. It's gonna drive me crazy. I might have to just go over there and get the bottle because I'm not going to remember it. That's the way my brain works. I'm not going to remember it. Yeah. Old Overholt. It was right there. Old Overholt. I like that. I like that rye. That's a great rye. And I should be using that for National Cocktail Day, but I'm not. Old Overholt rye. They still have it available. It's a 2021 OHLQ release. It's 114 proof. It was limited release. I think only in Ohio and Pennsylvania was it released. Almost every time I'm in the store, I just buy another bottle of it. Because eventually it's going to go away. Eventually it's going to be gone. And it's one I really, really enjoy and like to drink. Again, it's a higher proof, but it's got a lot of great flavor. It's got a lot of complexity. You know, they think that they sold it out at the store, and the next week they get another case of it. It just keeps coming. And it's a shame because it's one of those that, gosh, if you're standing in line for Buffalo Trace products, golly, the Old Overholt is cheap. It's 114 proof. It's full of flavor. It's delicious if you like a rye. I like ryes. All right, so I put a little water on this I.W. Harper. Old Overholt. Bing. I've had a day like that, though. I forgot. I lost my shoes. I found them. I went out and got the mail and forgot where I put it. I found it. I've got a gig tomorrow. I was looking for a battery charger. I found it, but it took a while. And now the old overhaul. It's just a pattern for the day. Too much going on, I guess. All right. So this is the IW Harper, the regular one with a little bit of water on it. That brought out the fruit notes. That's interesting. It didn't change really the mouthfeel very much. Maybe a slight skosh of viscosity was added, but not much. It made it brighter. That citrusy type of overtone it just poof, punched me in the face with a little bit of water on that. That was actually really nice. I was surprised. I didn't think it would add anything to it, but it did. Michael is watching. Hey, we got what, 3 Michaels in here now? Welcome. I'm glad you're all here. This is way too much fun. And we are doing the IW Harper regular. We'll move to the Cabernet Cask here shortly. I don't think I even want to put this on ice. I just don't want to. All right. This is a good purchase. I like this. I will drink this. I will continually. This will be one of those that I put on my shelf, and I'll always have a bottle on my shelf. I like this. I like it as much as I like any of those lower proofs. I'd love to do a taste test between this and other low proofers like the Jim Beam and the Wild Turkey and the Evan Williams, some of those, and the Kentucky Tavern, some of those low shelf items that taste great. They've been around forever. And they're just good. This is one of those that's just like that. It's not going to knock you over, but I think you might enjoy the flavor of it. Okay, Tom is with us. Tom says, sounds like maybe too much going in. Maybe. You misspelled two. It's got 2 O's. All right. Let's move over to what Kevin is drinking. That's the Cabernet Cask. We'll switch glasses for this. I suppose I better see where the perf is. Right there. I go through this battle with myself about whether I pre-open them or not. Part of me wants to not open them so you can see proof that I have not opened them and I have not tried them ahead of the Bourbcast. But then the other part of me knows that because my eyesight sucks, it takes me a little while to open these bottles. And sometimes it's difficult to open them. So, I don't know. All right, so this one, the Cabernet Cask. I don't have a lot about this. I didn't see if there's a different mash bill or anything on this. I didn't see if this was made out of a blend of this one in the 15-year or if it's all 15-year or all this year. I didn't find that stuff. I looked for it, but I didn't find it. The reviews on this are in small supply because it hasn't been around very long. This was just announced in February of this year. It's kind of a new thing. It has yet to circulate all the way around, and some people still aren't buying it because IW Harper's been off the shelves for 20 years. They don't know anything about it. And the reviews aren't out there, and people aren't talking about it. So that's one of the things that I'm interested in this one, because I have heard about IW Harper now for a few years, now that they came back in 2015, and how good it is, and I can agree that it's tasty. Be a great beginning bourbon, by the way, especially with a little bit of water on it, that brightness coming out of it. This would be a great beginner bourbon. All right. Let's see. So the Cabernet Cask, the IW Harper brand is introducing a new spirit to its timeless collection. Marketing. Cabernet Cask Reserve. Cabernet Cask Reserve is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey aged for 4 years in new charred American oak barrels. So it's a 4-year. Then perfected, doesn't say how long, in luxury California Cabernet Sauvignon casks and bottled at Stitzel-Weller Distillery. It's bottled in Tennessee. That's not the Stitzel-Weller. It's aged at Stitzel-Weller and then goes to Tennessee for bottling there. So, interesting. I just happen to know that. So, but anyway, let's get into it. This is the Cabernet Cask. I like these types of things. Legent, Angel's Envy, the Derringer from Rabbit Hole. I like these that are infused with wine or port or sherry. I like these. I still need to try the Thomas More. That'll be coming up soon, I think. I've got the Thomas More Chardonnay cask. No, Cabernet cask. So anyway, we're going to try that soon. I don't know why I'm holding on. I just got, I have a lot. I have a lot. All right. Okay. Okay, so the proof on this one is 90. Interestingly, though, it doesn't have much more nose than this one has. You got to search for it. There's a little pepper in there. Back to the licorice just ever so slightly, and you really got to, I mean, my nose is in that glass. A long way, I know. Ha 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 ha. It's really tough to find much in that. Let's go for the palate, see what it tastes like. I'm not catching a big difference between the two other than an obvious difference in proof. This one had a slight bloom. It wasn't on the tongue, it was in the back of my throat. Definitely has more complexity, better mouthfeel. I do like this 90 proof version. I can't say, though, that I'm pulling out a lot of nose is light. Yeah, Daniel, it is. You pick up some rye on the nose. Okay. And that's fair. I don't think that I did. Normally, if I pick up rye on the nose, it's going to be something that comes out and says toasted cereal or something grassy, or like a green twig type of thing where you crack a twig that's still like right off the tree. That's when I get rye on the nose, I get that. I did not get that from this. But again, it's like you said, and I agree with you. It's very light on the nose. Very light on the nose. The Cabernet is also very light on the nose. It's there. It's really tough to find anything off of it. Little pepper, like I said. There is something fruity in there, but there was something fruity in this one. Okay, it is a little more complex. The acidity in this is a little higher. It's drying out my mouth in a way that this one didn't. It doesn't mean that it's the alcohol in it. I think it's an acidity thing, because a lot of times when you do wines have a level of acidity. You can tell a complex wine by how well it dries out your mouth. If you find yourself, then it has a higher acidity than other wines. And probably a lower sugar content as well. I spent some time tasting wines the same way I am bourbons now, so kind of been there, done that a little bit. I don't do wine so much anymore because I try to stay away from all the sugar. But if I had to find some equivalent of wine with this one, I would say that it's got a higher acidity. Other than that, it's the different cask and the higher proof do add to the complexity of this pour. I will tell you, I like this pour better than this one, although I really like this one. This one, I like it marginally better, just because it's a little more complex, little higher proof. It gives me pause when I try this compared to this one. This one I just really enjoyed. This one I enjoy and want to think about it a little bit. I'm not getting any wine cask out of this. You're not going to be looking at like a Derringer effect or a Legent effect that are so wine heavy when you taste them that it alters what the bourbon would have been. That's not going to happen in this Harper, at least not to me. To me, it just tastes like a good bourbon with a little complexity to it and a little higher proof than this one. I like this. I mean, yes, buy this. The IW Harper Cabernet Cask, buy it. This is very tasty. I do like it. But if you're looking for it to have some sort of a relationship with wine, I will not tell you that it's there. I'm not finding it. Now, that could be based on what I had for dinner tonight. I don't know. But you'd think that by now, after tasting this one and having some water, that I'd catch it. I don't catch it. I don't catch any wine in this at all. You enjoy it. It's dangerous, so smooth and easy. Just keep drinking. It's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just keep drinking. Although, it is National Cocktail Day. National Cocktail. I think it's National Cocktail Day. Now, I talked to a bartender yesterday who told me that every day is National Cocktail Day. No. It's today. You know what? Let's do some water with this. Maybe that'll bring out some of the wine notes, because it did change this quite a bit. I've got a little bit left. Let's do some water. All right. Give it a little swirl. I was going to do 2 cocktails tonight. I don't think I'm going to do 2 cocktails tonight. I think I'm going to do 1. But it's a good one. Oh, yeah. It's a good one. It's one I've been waiting for a while to do. And now I can. All right. Here we go. A little bit of water on the Cabernet. Didn't help it. Water helped this one. It brought out some brightness, some citrus. It didn't do anything with this one. I like this one better the way it is. This one just knocked it down a little bit and didn't really do anything for it. I'm not going to put that over ice either. All right. So, now, cocktail time. There's been a cocktail I've been wanting to make for a long time, but I haven't had the infrastructure, to use governmental parlance, to be able to do it. And now I have the infrastructure to do it. So we're going to do it. All right. We're going to need my shaker. This is my Boston shaker. A lot of bartenders prefer this over the standard shaker that has the cap, and they like this better for whatever reason. Bring out an old-fashioned glass. I was going to do an old-fashioned, and I have the stuff here to do an old-fashioned, but I think in the interest of time, I'm just going to do 1 cocktail, and it's the one I'm most charged up about. All right, so I made a little bit of brown sugar, simple syrup. Made it myself. I had some brown sugar cubes, and I squashed them up and had this tiny little pan. Excuse me. Tiny little pan, and I made the simple syrup in that tiny little pan. So I'm bragging, I know. Okay. So we'll do some ice. The ice stuck together in there. These are Ozark Trail. These are every bit as good as Yeti. They'll hold ice for a long time. All right. Now, do that. I'm going to do this with the Cabernet because I've got this one closest to me, and it just happens to be a really nice pour. So we're going to go with, I need my glasses for this so I can see which jigger I'm using. That would not be the right one. This one is the right one. We're going to do 2 ounces of the Cabernet Harper. Unanimous. And then we're going to do 1 ounce of my brown sugar simple syrup. Ooh, I made just enough. That's 2 sugar cubes and the same amount of water. All right. And then we take the black walnut bitters and we give it 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is my lucky number. Why not? We'll go with 4. All right. And then let's put the cork back on this just to be safe. Then I bring out this bad boy. This is my new cocktail smoker. We're going to make a smoked bourbon. So I take a little bit of this hickory. And the way this works is it has a fan on it. So you turn the fan all the way up. And it's lit, and it's doing its thing. So we're going to put that in the glass. I think I might have burned that too fast. I forgot to turn it down. So we're going to turn it off and load it up a little bit more. I don't think I had enough in there. There. It doesn't take much. That's what's cool about it. All right, one more time. Get it lit. Turn down the fan. And now smoke it. There we go. All right, so this room smells fantastic right now. So now it's in there. Give it a shake. That's going to infuse not only the flavors, but also the smoke from the hickory. Oh, it smells so good. And this is a smoked Cabernet bourbon. Oh my gosh. Oh, that is good. That is good. You can leave the smoke in there longer if it suits you. I have a friend of mine that loves to leave that smoke in there for as long as possible. He'll wait until it dissipates before he drinks it. I think that's too much. I like it just a hint of it. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, that's good. Kevin says, aren't you supposed to smoke the glass, shake everything together, and then put it in the glass in the smoked glass? Okay. So what I've found is that there are a multitude of ways to smoke your bourbon. At a local bar, what they do is they pour the drink into a bigger bottle. It's an old Blanton's bottle. And then they put the smoke down in the Blanton's bottle, and then it takes its time to dissipate because that opening is small. I mean, the opening in these bottles is totally small. So it takes a while for that smoke to come out. So it's up to you when you want to pour it. They'll put it in the Blanton's bottle and let it sit there. My friend likes to let it sit there for a long, long time. I like to pour it pretty quick. I don't like a whole lot of smoke in it. I like just enough. While I was researching how to use this particular smoker, one of the things that I talked about was you can smoke the glass, like Kevin just said, and then pour into the smoked glass. You can also smoke directly into your shaker, whether you're using this, the Boston shaker, or the traditional shaker with the top that you can strain through, or anything else that you want to try. You can also smoke into the shaker. That's what I chose to do tonight. Now, earlier tonight, when I was doing this for the first time, I actually smoked the glass with the bourbon in it, and that was with the 114 Old Overholt. So it wasn't a very big pour, but the changes that it made in that pour were significant. I will tell you that it made less of a difference doing it that way into the glass. It was the Kentucky Bourbon Trail glass, which is like a Glencairn, only wider on all counts, and shorter about here. I did it in that. The Old Overholt was in it, and I put the smoke in the glass as is. This one, I tried it with the shaker, and I actually really prefer the results of this compared to what I did earlier with the Old Overholt. Now, again, that's 114 proof. So the power of that pour may have kind of overridden the power of the smoke compared to this one being 90 proof. But I like what it did with this, and putting it in the shaker. It really, infusing that smoke into it as you shake it really is fantastic. Even now I can still get that. Oh, that's delicious. There are several different types of smoke. I know some bars use even ash, but I have hickory, mesquite, applewood, and cherrywood upstairs. This one is hickory that I did tonight. I really like it. I really like it a lot. National Cocktail Day, can't get any better than this. This is fantastic. Golly, that's good. Hercules. All right, what's being said here? Quinn is watching. Hey, Quinn, how are you? Make one when I head down there for me. You got it, man. You come down, Kevin, and I'll make this for you. We'll try all the different ways of doing it. I've got an empty Blanton's bottle. We can do it that way, the way the bar does it. We can do it in the shaker. We can do it in the glass. We'll try every different way you want to, whenever you want to. Just let me know when you want to come, and we'll set out the fine trappings for you. Anyway, happy National Cocktail Day. Do make yourself a great cocktail tonight. If you're not using I.W. Harper, use something you really, really enjoy. Something maybe with a higher rye content. That'd be my recommendation. I do like those rye cocktails, especially if you're going to make an old-fashioned. I had everything here tonight to make an old-fashioned, but I've made those before. This is new. This is good. If you're wondering, this is the Breville from Polyscience. This is the Breville Pro. I kind of went all out. You don't have to buy this particular smoker. This is the one that I have seen used, and I like the results from it. I don't like this hose. The hose is a little cheap. You can see how it binds up a little bit. But again, it's not supposed to be done like that. It's not supposed to be wrapped up. It's supposed to be something that stays straight. I do like the performance of this smoker. I like the fact that I can do it with a regular match and not have to deal with any gases. I don't have to deal with anything like that. There's so many smokers that they promote that are supposed to come with the butane and don't, or should come with butane and don't. This one, you don't have to worry about that. You just light it, let the fan do its job. It'll pull the flame down into it, start the smoke going. I like this one. It's a little more expensive, a lot more expensive, but by golly, I'm one of these guys. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. And the Breville is one that I'm impressed with. Even somebody like me who's never touched it before can make a damn good drink on the first try. So there's that going for me. Jeff is talking. Jeff says, I'm on my way. Better make some more simple syrup. Okay, if your wife's going to let you out of the house, come on, bring it. I'll make you some. I'll make some simple syrup. It was really easy to do. I'll make a little more so we can keep doing this. But by golly, this is fantastic. All right. Oh my gosh, that's so good. All right. So, a little bit of a wood chip in there. Num num num. Okay, so the IW Harper, I like it. It's 80 proof. It's nothing special as far as that goes, but the flavor is nice. I like it. I put it right up there with other 80 proofers like Wild Turkey and Jim Beam, Evan Williams. This is one that I could drink any day and enjoy myself. Take it on a boat, take it camping, watch TV, doesn't matter. This is a very, very nice pour. I like it. The Cabernet Cask is a little higher proof. It's 90. This is 80. I'm not catching a lot of Cabernet in it, but what I am catching is a really nice pour. It's got great flavor, great complexity. It's very tasty, and the proof is going to be more in line with people that prefer a higher proof and that complexity because of the higher proof. It's got a greater bloom. I do really like this one. So you're not going to go wrong with anything IW Harper. If you can find the 15-year, good on you. Take your time with it because it's really hard to find. So don't like empty it with all your buddies in one night. Hoard that for yourself and take your time with it over a period of months until you can find it again. Better yet, leave it closed until you can get a backup bottle. All right. I have no backup bottle of either of these, but I know I don't need them because they're readily available, easy to find, and I can tell you that they're not even very expensive, but they're worth the money. You should pick them up. With that, I'm going to say goodnight, and I'm going to say thank you for tuning in. If you get the opportunity to share this with others, that would be fantastic. I'd really like that. Of course, you're on Facebook, Beautiful Bourbon. We're on Instagram, @BeautifulBourbon. We have beautifulbourbon.com, the blog. And slowly by surely, we are starting to move this stuff into YouTube and Rumble. YouTube more than Rumble at this point. We're actually starting to get some views on YouTube, which is pretty cool. I put up the St. Patrick's Day, and it went like that. We got notifications right away, which was kind of exciting. That's cool. I just need to have a lot more on there to be able to qualify for any kind of data, analytics, blah, 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 blah. I don't have enough for YouTube to give a crap, so I just have to keep making these. Oh, that's no problem whatsoever because I've got so much. You should see behind the camera right now how much bourbon is sitting back there. It's almost gross, but it isn't because it's bourbon. But it's almost gross. I have a collection problem. I do. All right, guys. Thanks again. I appreciate you being with me tonight. The smoke is worth it. When we get into warmer weather for like a longer term, when it starts being warmer, like more often, then some of you are going to be invited over here, and you'll be part of the Bourbcast, and we'll do this together, and we'll have a good time. Bring a DD. But we'll get some more people involved in this. I'm sick of this lockdown crap. It's time to spread this out and get more people involved and to have more fun and get more opinions and really have a good time. So we get into these warmer temperatures. We're going to sit out back. It's going to be great. So be ready for that. It's coming. It's coming. I promise you. I wanted to do it last summer. We didn't do it because lockdowns continued. This summer, lockdowns be damned. We're going to do it. All right. So thank you again. We will see you again next week. I have no idea what I'm going to do next week. No idea whatsoever. But you will know probably by the end of the weekend, maybe Monday. I'll take a photo of some sort to let you know what we're doing for next Thursday's Bourbcast. Or if you have suggestions, I'm listening. I'd be willing to take your suggestions. If there's something you want me to taste, want me to review, want me to run through the gamut, the gauntlet, just tell me what it is and I'll do it. In the meantime, have a fantastic week, what's left of it. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next Thursday right here. Take care of yourselves and drink responsibly.